What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's beautiful project. This is the Bolt Mosquito Mk6, but this isn't a standard one. This is a workshop config by Greybeast 392. And as we jump in, this is the DarkSyde Garage Drag OSC, which obviously stands for obviously supercharged. I don't know what it stands for. I've just made that up. It fits. It sounds pretty good. But as you can see, there is definitely a supercharged engine in that engine bay. But let's get on with this. It is an absolutely fantastic config. I cannot wait to get it down the drag strip a little bit later on. Looking pretty cool. We got ours from the auction house. It's in pretty good condition. Body and frame are pretty decent. Parts and interior, maybe not so much. But we've got our work cut out ahead of us anyway. Did we get a good deal? Absolutely not. I bought it for 38,142 and can sell it for 31,756, losing out on 6,386 before we even begin. But there we go. Hopefully we can claw that back a little bit later on. The engine in this, you've already seen it. We're keeping it as that. It's the V8 2-carb overhead valve supercharged engine, pumping out 698 factory horsepower. Once we're finished with this, that's hopefully going to be more than doubled and destroying the drag strip. A drag tournament, maybe getting into the top 10 on our speeder board. What do you think? Can we make it into the top 10? I'm not 100% sure myself, but there is only one way to find out. We will be cracking on with this beautiful car as we go. Thank you all for understanding no video on Wednesday this week. I just haven't really been feeling myself at the moment. Can I feel you instead? Bad pun. Stop it. But anyway, I do bad jokes. That's me. But there we go. I had some bad news. I'm not really feeling it. But we're going to crack on. We're going to get this video done. But next Friday, we are going to start What the Friday, or WTF, as we're going to be calling it, where I'm just going to be playing some different games on a Friday just for a bit of fun. And by the looks of it, I started a little poll, and the first game I will be playing on next Friday will be City Skylines, which I'm definitely looking forward to. I do love a bit of City Skylines, and it'd be quite interesting to start building a city with you guys, get your guys' inputs, and see where we end up. But back to what's important on this channel, which is Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Let's get this beautiful Bolt Mosquito up Mk6 into the car wash, ready to go down the drag strip, looking like an absolute monster a little bit later on. So let's get it started. Let's get it cleaned up. In the car wash with the Bolt Mosquito Mk6. Let's get it cleaned. I'm sure there's no livery on it. But there might be. So let's find out. And what colour is it? It kind of looks like a purpley white. Definitely a little hint of blue in that silver. But it's definitely a silver more than anything else. It's looking pretty solid though. Not too bad. Let's get the interior done. Get it back on the lifter. Get what's left of that engine ripped out of there. And start getting everything else stripped down. The drag mosquito's up in the air. Is there an oil pan? I doubt it. No, there isn't. So let's just get in underneath and see what we've got. Starting with this drive shaft, let's just get you straight out. Out you come, and out you come. Now, you'll notice that everything on the underside is defaulted to black. That actually happens with the TKAftermarket mod, and I quite like it, if I'm being honest. Although I do paint everything anyway, so it doesn't really make that much difference to me. Before we do that, I've just noticed the starter's missing. Let's add that to the shopping list so that we don't forget it. And get this big old gearbox out of here. Out you come. And we've got to fully rebuild that engine because it is missing absolutely everything. So back down on the ground you go. Let's go and grab the engine crane. Get what's little left of that supercharged V8 ripped out of there. And start pulling everything else out. Nice and easy. What have we got in the engine bay? Absolutely nothing by the looks of that. So I've got to add all of this to the shopping list. Make sure we've got it all, including all of the exhaust as well. Is that the battery stuff down the back there? Just make sure. Battery tray, yes it is. Fuel tank and fuel pump are also missing. But all of the suspension's there by the looks of it. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. We're missing a load, but we've got all of the suspension, I believe. I can't see anything missing. So I'm going to crack on, start getting all of this sorted, and then we'll come back. Be time to sort out this beautiful Bolt Mosquito's bodywork. Bearing in mind, it doesn't have a hood. The interior. Then we can get this beast into the paint shop. Now, I have sort of mixed and matched a couple of the standard liveries into something a little bit different. So we'll look at that in just a little while. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on our beautiful Bolt Mosquito. But now we need to strip all this bodywork off. So let's just get it all out. I've got the headlights as well, liking that. Out with the windshield, door. Do we have the body window? We do have the body window. Rear bumper, tail lights, trunk, tail lights. In fact, this body is pretty much all on here. The hood is missing, but the hood isn't on this config anyway. And I think that might be everything. No interior in there. So have we actually got everything? 1% on that screen. Let's go into here. Nothing showing up on there. So we have got it. Frames at just under 60%. And I bought the car for a little under 40,000. What do we reckon for this one today? I'm going to say 1,100. 1350. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's jump into the body shop and take a look. It is only the standard body shop for the Bolt Mosquito Mk6. There is nothing showing up in the body tuning for it. So let's just go back in. And that is everything. Everything's just a like-for-like swap. The only thing we won't be using, obviously, is that hood, because it isn't on this config, because we don't have one with a cutout. So there we go. Let's get this beautiful, beautiful little Bolt Mosquito Mk6 all back together into the paint shop and check out what I've done with the livery. Let's get this DarkSyde Bolt Mosquito all back together, ready to go into the paint shop. Let's just get it thrown all back on. I did manage to repair a lot of it, mostly just the lights and windows. And this fender here, obviously, had to buy brand new. That's why it's in the black. But let's just carry on around, getting it all back in. It is all just straight up like for like. No alternative parts to swap in or anything like that. So keep going around. Rear bumper. The trunk, we did also have to buy a new one of them as well. Tail lights, in you go. Then we've got the other door. Window. And that final mirror just there. Let's go back round to the back. Get our license plate on. We've gone with our VM plates with DarkSyde written on them, because this is the DarkSyde drag build from Grey Beast. Looking awesome. Just got some interior to throw in, so let's get that in. We have swapped the seat, and we kept the wheel in the Bolt Mosquito Mark 5 wheel. It fits it. It looks pretty good. And then for the seat, we've gone for the Bolt Mosquito Mark 6 seat, which isn't what comes in it. I just quite like the seat. And we'll play around with the colours a little bit later on. Is that everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. It is fantastic. Let's get this beast into the paint shop, check out the livery, and get some colour on. In the paint shop with the beautiful DarkSyde's Bolt Mosquito Mk6 Drag Edition. And this is the colour we're going to be going for today. This very sort of deep, bluey, sort of teal colour in a matte finish, looking fantastic. But we do have a cool livery to go with it, so let's just go through them. Slot number 1 is dual black stripes, dual grey stripes, and dual white stripes. All looking pretty good in there. Then in slot number 4, you've got the black hood piece, but obviously we don't have a hood. Then we've got a grey and a white hood piece as well. Slot number 7, we've got a blacked out roof and spoiler. Slot number 8 is a greyed out roof and spoiler. Then slot number 9 is what I've created for this one. We've mixed 3 together. I've gone with the dual stripes, the hood stripe, and the black roof and spoiler, and combined them all into one to make this little livery here. We've obviously got the grey stripes front to back, then the hood stripe, I suppose, with the mosquito written in it, in the body colour underneath, with the black roof, black spoiler, and the stripes following all on through. Looking pretty good. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. But let's get this colour on. There we go. We're going to obviously colour a few more bits as well. Don't you worry. We're going to put some extra colour on that interior, although it does already kind of fit with the grey. We shall see how that comes a little bit later on. Maybe we'll put some of this tealy blue in there as well. Maybe change the colour of the mirrors. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out as we go, but there we go. And now I'm going to start getting everything painted, looking fantastic, ready to get this Bolt Mosquito all back together and to tear up the drag strip. That's everything painted on the Bolt Mosquito, looking absolutely fantastic. A couple of bits have changed, but really nothing special. We changed these mirrors into this grey, body matching the stripes and the side pieces there, looking nice. And we also added a little bit of colour to this interior. If we just jump into the seats, we added a bit of that teal blue to the centre of the seats and a little bit of it on the steering wheel, just on the buttons, and that centrepiece just there, looking pretty good. I'm liking that. I think it looks very nice. I love this livery. I think it looks fantastic, and it really is nothing special, but there we go. Let's start getting it all together, starting with the shocks. We've got grey shocks, some of that beautiful blue on the springs there, and grey caps, obviously. It is the same front and back, so let's just start getting some of this in. Up we go, and we're going to get this front suspension crossmember piece in, and it is in a lovely piece of aluminium just there, looking absolutely fantastic. There is a lot of aluminium in this, so let's crack on. Let's start getting some of this in, and today I think we're really going to test my editing ability, both front and rear suspension. So let's get to it, and I'll see you in a second. Well, there we go. Almost finished with the first half of the suspension. Just a couple of pieces I couldn't reach. Wheel hub bearing in there and a rear drive axle in the teal just in there. Looking pretty good. Now, the rest of it is mostly in that aluminium. Looking absolutely lovely. A few bits of greys there in the shocks and obviously on the spring caps there. And then lots of teal in all the bushings and the brakes and things like that. Looking absolutely beautiful down the back. We jump up to the front, if I could even get there. Thank you very much. Still a lot of it in that aluminium. Looking fantastic with a few splashes of that tealy blue and the grey in there as well. Looking absolutely beautiful. I think it looks fantastic. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments below. But let's crack on because we've still got the fuel tank to go in that lovely grey. The fuel pump in the teal. And then we've got the rest of the suspension to finish off before we go and sort out that beautiful engine bay, including the battery down the back, which we can't throw in now. And then we need to go and build that beautiful supercharged V8 engine ready to send this beast racing down the drag strip. That's all the suspension finished, mostly in aluminium and teal blue with a few splashes of that grey just for good measure. And the fuse box also in that grey there just to save a bit of time. But let's get on and get this engine bay sorted. It is a nice and simple coolant reservoir, power steering reservoir, fuse box already in, obviously. ABS pump in the grey with the module just in a black over the top there. In you go. Bolted all in if I could get all the bolts. Don't know what was going on there. Brake servo, in you go. And then the last piece for the front of the engine bay is the radiator, which we've just done in a matte black on there. Looking pretty tasty. Now we want to get up and around the back. Open up this trunk. Let's get the battery all in and ready to go. In you go. The billet tray is in that teal. Then obviously we've got that performance battery with the bracket on top also in that tealy blue colour. I keep saying teal, but it's not quite teal. And then the rods just in a body matched grey on there. Looking very, very nice. I like it because you can see it from the trunk and also see all the colours. Looking very good. Let's crack on though. Also, you've got just a bit of the springs or the shocks just sticking up into the engine bay. Just how I like it. But now let's go and build that beautiful supercharged V8. It is looking fantastic. On the block, we've got aluminium and the body matched grey, just on a few bits around the outside. The oil pan is in that grey. Then the heads are in the aluminium and teal or blue. We just call it blue from now on. Looking nice. This side's all finished and ready to go. Just a couple of pieces extra to go in this side. One additional valve push rod. 8 on each side, 16 in total. One additional rocker arm, 8 on each side, 16 on total. One additional spark plug, 4 on each side, 8 in total. And there we go. Let's move on and get the front of this all sorted. Cam gear in you go. Timing chain in you go. Then we've got the timing cover on top in that beautiful blue. Looking fantastic in you go. The water pump in the aluminium. I've never done one of them in aluminium, I don't think, and it looks great with the water pump pulley just in that blue on top. Crankshaft pulleys in the aluminium are looking lovely. So is the alternator in you go, and so is the power steering pump. I would have liked to have got a little bit of two-tone on this, just so this front one wasn't in the brushed aluminium. The roller there could have been in a slightly different colour, but I couldn't get it to go with this one. Fuel filter in the beautiful blue. Ignition coil in the blue, but it's only the lettering. I always love how that turns out. Absolutely fantastic. Then we got our distributor, which is in the brushed aluminium with a bit of that blue on it. The rotor's not painted because we don't need to. And the cap itself is in a grey with some lovely blue clips just going on this one to finish it off. If I could get that last clip, there we go. In you go there. Looking good. We can get one belt on now. Just a blacked out belt. And let's move on and get some of these other bits in, starting with the engine head covers. They are in that body-matched grey from the stripes on the liveries. Looking pretty nice on there. In you go around to the other side. Let's get you in as well. All matched up to the same place. Bolt it all up. And then we can move on to the supercharger intake manifold, which is in the blue. And it's looking very nice in there. I'm liking that one. Very pleased with that. Then we get the supercharger on top, which is in the blue and aluminium because it looks fantastic. And we could get that wheel on the front in the aluminium, in the blue, along with some of the bolts, although the bolts are just a little bit dark. But they are definitely in that blue, looking good. And next belt on you go, blacked out again. And then the last belt also blacked out on there with the fan on the front in that aluminium, looking fantastic. I love that. I think it looks so good. Onto the carburetors, in you go. Only 2 of them today. So we could only get 6% tune from these bad boys, but they are in that lovely blue, looking fantastic as always. Then we've got the air filters, which are also in the blue on top. And then that final air scoop is in the body matched grey, but with carbon fibre front vents on them. Looking very, very nice. I'm liking that one. Let's move on. Ignition wires in that beautiful blue, looking fantastic. And then the exhaust manifolds are also in that teal blue, with some of the welding done just in that normal weld colour. What would you say that was? Silver? Weld silver? I don't even know, but there we go. Let's get the other one on as well. And then almost time to get this beast dropped into the car. The oil filter is first, which is in that blue, but it's only the lettering and the rim. And again, I think it looks fantastic. Absolutely love this one, mostly in the brushed aluminium, still with some of that body colour on the outside. Really finishing it off, looking beautiful. Well, let's get it dropped in and see how good it looks inside the car. I forgot the engine crane, engine lift, whatever you want to call it. So we need to go and grab that engine crane. Over we go. And let's get this engine dropped in here and see what it looks like. In you go. Let's get you put away because we don't need you anymore. That's looking pretty good. Plenty of the aluminium. And obviously we've got no hood on this, so it's always going to be out on display. Loving that one. Let's just go into camera mode just so we can get up a little bit more and put a gentle bit of light on it. Looking very nice. All that brushed aluminium. The greys obviously blending in with the bodywork on there. Looking absolutely fantastic. Loving that. Let's get you up in the air. We've got the gearbox, the exhausts, and that drive shaft to go in. Under we go. Let's get in right at the front. That's what we like. Starting with that gearbox, which is in the teal blue, but you know me by now. So it's brushed aluminium with a little bit of blue just on that one panel cover just there. There we go. The starter itself is in that blue, looking fantastic. And then all of the exhaust is in the blue, apart from this one piece here, which has got a little bit of that aluminium just on that sheathing there. Looking pretty good. In you go. Middle mufflers fully in the blue. Then we've got the drive shaft, which for some reason I can never click on first time. We've just done that one in the body matched grey. Hopefully it will look good from the underside of the car. And then the rear pieces, which don't fully come out the back, which is a little bit disappointing. But there we go, just in that blue on there. How good does this look? Let's get down and take a walk out. Plenty of blue. You can just about see that drive shaft in most of the places in the grey. And then plenty of that brushed aluminium to finish it off at the back. Looking very nice. Back down you go. You beautiful, beautiful drag machine. This is going to be a little fun. We've got just a little bit left to go. I need to top up all the liquids in here, get these windows tinted, and pick some beautiful wheels for this lovely car. Then we can get it outside in the sun. Well, there she is, all finished. The Bolt Mosquito Mk6 DarkSyde Drag OSC, or whatever this beast is called, by GreyBeast392. It is absolutely fantastic. Excellent job. Link in the description below. Go and grab this one from the workshop for yourself, because it's a lot of fun to build and you can make it look absolutely incredible. I'm loving it. I think it looks so, so good. But let's talk about these rims. These are my favorite rims, are the 1A. I've used them 1 or 2 times before, but we've got a little aluminium finish on the outside edge there, and then just black on the middle, looking beautiful. We've had to put a little bit of ET on these front rims just so they work with them aftermarket brake calipers. So the front rims are a 20-inch rim with 195 width, a 30 profile, and ET of 20, just to bring them out a little bit so this doesn't clip all the way through. Looking quite good. Down at the back, they're bigger and smaller all at the same time. I'm not sure how that works, but let's talk about it. Still that rim at 1A, same color scheme, but these are a 16-inch rim with a 305 width, absolutely massive, 55 profile, and no ET on these rear rims. But let's get on and talk about this interior. In we go. Obviously, we added a little bit of teal to the seat, looking fantastic. Teal, blue, whatever you want to call it, and a little bit to that steering wheel as well. Looking beautiful in here. And I love the fact that you can see the supercharger, the carburetors, and the little scoop through the end, from inside the car. There we go. That's the words I was looking for. Couldn't think of some better words, so we'll go with that. But it's looking good in here, if not a bit cramped. But let's get this one started and hear this supercharged V8. Definitely heard this one before. In fact, in the last episode. But let's give it some gas, because the whine on this car is fantastic. Absolutely loving that. But let's get this beast into the dyno, see what its horsepower is and what its drag racing will be. On the dyno with the Mk6 Bolt Mosquito DarkSyde Garage Drag OSC, obviously supercharged. With that supercharged V8 engine, 698 factory power. How much have we added? A gain of 728 horsepower, 105%. I'm just happy it's above a whole new engine without a tunable ECU on this one today. So a little bit less power on there, but still very, very good, 105%. Bringing us up to 1,426 horsepower with a drag rating of a 922, near the top end of the top class, but just not quite getting there. I'm sure it'll still be pretty good on the drag strip nonetheless. But let's have a look at the gearbox tuning. That's what we've gone for today. 2.13 for the final ratio. First and second, I haven't touched at all. Just adjusted the final ratio. But 3 and 4, I have brought them. So they're just a little bit more power, adding a little bit more top end to this beast of a car. Now, obviously, no ECU, so nothing in there to tune. But we do have 2 fully tunable carbs with a little link to a short video just up there. Link also in the description to that short. So you can perfectly tune your carbs every single time without fail. Or you can just find the shorts on my channel and find it that way. But there we go. Let's get this beast onto the drag strip and see what we can do with the Bolt Mosquito DarkSyde Garage Drag Edition. We've made it to the drag strip with a very custom DarkSyde Garage Bolt Mosquito selected into King of the Sands 1 mile A-Class. Pay our 1,000 entry fee. And our first race is against Skin Gravel. Nice to see you, buddy, in the Hot Wheels Bone Shaker Stealth. Pretty cool in there. Who else have we got with us? Let's have a look. Nissan GTR in the Fiat 500 VM Abarth V12. Loving that one. And Carb the Koala down there in the RTR Fastback. Pretty epic. Our first race against Skin Gravel in the Hot Wheels Bone Shaker Stealth. Are we going to be able to beat it with the DarkSyde Bolt Mosquito Mk6? Let's get in. Let's find out. That Hot Wheels Bone Shaker looks absolutely incredible with the red glow coming from that front end. Literally makes it look like the engine is so hot, it's glowing red. Is he going to be able to beat our drag beast from DarkSyde Garage today? Let's get in. Let's find out. Let's go. Off the line. Into second. A little bit of bumping and grinding. This car is incredibly low at the front, so it does kind of make sense a little bit. We're still scraping just a little bit, ruining all my beautiful paintwork. But let's get into top gear and see if we can see that Bone Shaker. I can't see it anywhere behind me, so I think we might be in a good stead for the time being. So let's keep going. We are flying up in the speed-wise across the line. And what have we got for our first run? 9.213 seconds as the car's still scraping and grinding in the back there to the 1/4 mile. Not too shabby in that one. Definitely beating the Hot Wheels Bone Shaker by more than a second, so I'm happy with that. 22.133 to the 1 mile with a 388 kilometers an hour top speed. The car is still grinding and scraping in the background there, but there we go. Beating out the Bone Shaker by, again, more than a second. Very happy with that. We've made it through to the next round, so let's go see who we're up against. Well, we obviously knocked out Skin Gravel, and Nissan GTR's still in there, but unfortunately, Carb the Koala has gone as well. Our next race is against the Fiat 500 VM Abarth V12, my own creation. Are we going to be able to beat it? I certainly hope so. Nissan GTR also in that same Abarth V12, up against the Ford Mustang RTR Unicorn version 1. Pretty epic race there. Let's get on with it. Can we beat my own creation? Let's go find out. I say it every time, but that Fiat 500 looks so much better with the livery on it and everything like that. It still looks very good, don't get me wrong, and it's got an insane V12 in it, but we will be able to beat it with the DarkSyde Garage Bolt Mosquito drag car. Let's find out. Let's go. Come on, Bolt Mosquito. Off the line, bumping and grinding into second. Come on, little car, into third. Where's the Fiat? Quite far behind us by the looks of that. So let's just get this beast into top gear and get it across the line and see if this will be a slightly better run than our first run. If we can get this into the top 10, I'll be very happy. Although already from these times, I'm not seeing us anywhere close. Across the line, what have we got for this run? 9.314, slightly slower than our first run. The Fiat 500 didn't even finish, so we definitely beat that. 22.275 to the 1 mile. Again, not quite as good, and not quite as good on the top speed either, with only 387 kilometers an hour. We've made it through into the semi-final. Let's see who we've got. It's semi-final time. Nissan GTR still in there in that Fiat 500, up against another Ford Mustang RTR Unicorn version 1. Bit of a shame there, but you've already beat one, so you should be able to beat another, no problem. We've got the Ford F100 drag. Now we know that thing can be a little bit insane, but we've beat it many a times. Hopefully, we can keep up with today, get into the final, and face off against Nissan GTR. That Ford F100 drag is such a beautiful truck, but when it's just black on black, it's just a little bit boring, in my opinion. You know me, I like to splash in lots of colours, make it bright, and just a little bit in your face, that kind of thing. Will we be able to beat the Ford F100 drag, though? Let's get in, let's find out. Let's go. Come on, you can do it, Bolt. Let's go off the line. Into second, all the bumping and grinding. Yeah, it's starting to rub on me just a little bit, but there we go. Rub on me. Pun not intended, but I'll take it. Where are we? We are way in front still, so let's get into top gear, and hopefully we can keep it that way and win this tournament with this beautiful Bolt Mosquito Mk6 DarkSyde Garage Drag Edition. Across the line, is it better than our first run? 9.431. We are getting slower and slower to the quarter of a mile. We did obviously beat the Ford F100. 22.428 to the 1 mile. Again, slower and slower. And the top speed also a little bit slower. But we've made it into the final, and that's what counts. We've got to try and make sure we get max amount of winnings from this beautiful car. So let's see who we've got in the final. Will it be Nissan GTR? Unfortunately, it's not Nissan GTR with us in the final. It's Brian Scott. Welcome to the final, Brian Scott, with your Ford Mustang RTR Unicorn version 1. Will we be able to beat it for the final race? I certainly hope so we can take the maximum amount of winnings from this drag tournament. It's the final, the last race of the day, and it is the DarkSyde Garage Bolt Mosquito Mk6 drag versus the Ford Mustang RTR Unicorn version 1, driven by Brian Scott. Sadly, Ken Block's no longer with us, but there we go. We'll be able to beat this final race. I love the look of that car. Let's just get in. Let's go. Come on, it's the final. We need to win off the line. Into second. That thing is already pulling in front of us. Into third, and now we are flying away from it. This thing is mentally quick, just not holding its own quite all the way, but there we go. Loving that off the line. Let's just get across the finish line and see if this will be the best run of the day, or if we're going to keep up the theme of continually getting worse. Across the line, what have we got? Last race, 9.326. Slightly faster than our last run, but not as good as our first run, which was a 9.213 to the quarter of a mile. The 1 mile in 22.284. Better than our last run, but again, not quite as good as our first, which is a 22.133 seconds. And the top speed still the same and low down at 387. Our first run was 388 kilometers an hour, so that'll be the one that goes on the board. Let's get back, let's collect our winnings and get this Bolt Mosquito sold on, hopefully, for some lovely profit. Well, there we have it, the 11,250. I'm always happy when we make it start to finish in a tournament, winning all of that money. Very, very happy with that. And also, it does mitigate our losses of 6,386 that we had from the very beginning. So anything is going to be profit on this beautiful Bolt Mosquito Mk6. So let's get back to the garage, get it onto the speeder board, see where it ends up, and get it sold on for some profit. There it is, all finished. I love that engine. I think it looks fantastic. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments below. But we managed to get this one 44th out of 91 on the speeder board today with a 9.213 to the quarter of a mile, 22.133 to the 1 mile, and a top speed of 388 kilometers an hour from this absolute beast. I really do love it. I think it is absolutely fantastic. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments. But let's talk some facts and figures. I bought the car for $38,142 and could have sold it at a loss of $6,386. But we obviously didn't do that. We spent another $49,538 on parts and paint, getting this one to how you see it now, putting our total spend to $87,960. Are we going to be able to get some profit from this beautiful little car? Let's jump in. Let's take a look. All 100% complete, looking absolutely fantastic. I really do love this one. With that 2 carb overhead valve, supercharged V8, 698 factory horsepower, now with 105% more power at 1,426 horsepower. This thing is insane. Absolutely loving it. But there we go. And we managed to win our drag tournament and everything. It was fantastic. But we spent $87,680 to get there. Is there some profit in it? With this sale of $149,573, there's definitely some profit in there. $61,893 to be precise. But we need to add in our drag strip winnings as well, leaving us with a total profit of $73,100. 143, and we got it 44th out of 91 on the speederboard. I'm very, very impressed with that one, but it is time to say goodbye. Are we keeping it? Are we keeping it or are we selling it? Tell me right now. There's no chat. This isn't going to work. We're going to keep it for the time being. Let me know what you guys think we should do in the comments, and we shall see. I'm not 100% sure yet. I do quite like it, though. But anyway, let's just find out what we got coming up next. This is a brand new mod from Pain. Looking fantastic. And if you don't recognize the body, well, more for you. Because this is the Ford Mustang Fox body. The one we've gone for today is the 777 edition, because I always like Pain 77 editions. They are absolutely fantastic. This is what we're going to be stucking into next time. It's currently available from everywhere, but this may change because the mod isn't coming out until September, I believe. I'm trying to remember that off the top of my head, but there we go. September-ish, I think. So there is still plenty of time for things to be adjusted. It's not fully finished yet, but we're going to play around with it, show it off, show it what this particular model can do before it comes around to full release in September. Pretty epic. We got ours from the auction house. It's in awful condition. I don't think I've seen a car this bad in quite some time. That should mean we got a good deal, but we didn't. I bought it for 2,027. Still got it very cheap. We could only sell it for 1,865, losing out on 162. But I'm sure we'll be able to claw that back in the next episode. No problem at all. Let's see the engine in this one. It's currently got the V8 single overhead cam FME engine. Do we keep that one in? Do we swap it for a Coyote? We're not going to use the supercharged. We've done a lot of supercharged recently. But do we swap for the Coyote? Do we keep it at the FME? Do we swap it for the AXK? What would you like to do? Let me know in the comments down below, and we will swap it to whichever one you guys suggest the most. So it might not still have 450 factory horsepower when we come back to this on a Monday. So do make sure you join us back here on Monday for this beautiful Fox body Ford Mustang. That sounded weird in my head, but I'm sure it was correct. But there we go. What did you think of our beautiful DarkSyde Garage Bolt Mosquito Mk6 today? I think it looks absolutely fantastic with that sort of mismatched custom delivery. I think it looks really good. But do let me know in the comments what you think. Leave a cheeky little like. Share this video as far and wide as you want. But most importantly, make sure you are subscribed. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Have a beautiful weekend, whatever it is you're getting up to. Thank you for sticking around to the end. Best way to support me is to watch all of the content. So thank you very much for that. Again, have a wonderful day. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.